Yo, what's poppin'? It's Tommathan. I'm here to recap the second to last day of Overwatch League Season 5 playoffs. Insane. Tomorrow we have Losers Finals, Grand Finals, Dennis Hawelka Award reveal, MVP Award reveal. We got the teaser of the new Hero 36, which is a tank. Gonna be hype. And, of course, crowning the Overwatch League Season 5 Grand Champions. It's gonna be hype. We know our top three. I'm ready. So anyway, today, shock. 3-0 Seoul to start off the day. And honestly, disappointment. Disappointment from Seoul this whole season. Not this whole season, but this playoff specifically. Like, it looked like they were going to be the guys against Florida. They look good. Not great against Dallas. And today, they clearly took that because they get 3-0 by shock and they bring Profit out on the Kiriko to start off. So clearly they were shook. But the main problem yesterday with Seoul, they were giving Dallas way too much space, and like that didn't end. That didn't end. They were giving Shock too much space. You're giving proper space. Obviously, you're going to lose. They didn't fix that core issue. Yes, Iris, I agree. Iris did not perform very well relative to Fielder yesterday. But like Profit wasn't performing super well either. You'd expect him to maybe be more like a Teru on Kiriko, where you take some super aggressive flanks, find some really good picks, but not really. He wasn't getting that much damage done. He was just being mostly a heal bot, which isn't bad. Like, it's the normal Kiriko playstyle that most teams are doing. But he wasn't doing particularly well. And then you don't have Profit on Reaper. And Stalker wasn't playing poorly. It's nothing like that. It's not like Profit was being unreal. It's just like, it didn't work. Eventually, once they get to Dorado, they do put Profit back. And he was playing some Tracer there, stuff like that. But, like, they were shook. And I don't think they actually addressed the issues they needed to. Like, they just did not take enough space. It just didn't happen. On defense, on offense, anything like that. Shock were able to walk in comfortably, find as much information on the enemy team as they wanted, positioning, all that stuff, make a game plan. And it just didn't work. That's my biggest problem. Kaluge had a really good game. He had a primal so good. Smurf did a great play. Let me set the stage for you. Dorado, point B, Soul's attacking. Smurf steals the cart because Shock are spawn camping, basically. So he gets behind the enemy team, moves the cart a bit, and then he ends up forcing a beat with his primal. And you know what? That's perfect. That was a great play by Smurf. But this motherfucker Kaluge walks up, primals Soul Dynasty, gets a 4K, types it to the former San Francisco Shock tank Smurf. He won 2 championships with them. Kaluge is an off-tank player, tells Smurf to sit, and you know what? It's so valid. It's so valid. Kaluge had an unreal game. And an unreal playoffs. It continues. The next game he plays. Kaluge is him. Like, we got, like, he's that guy. He's that guy. And then, of course, I'm not even talking about Proper, any of that. Proper had a great game. Just the whole team of Seoul, quiet. The whole team of Shock, loud, very loud. Lijiang was kind of close to start off because Mikey was getting hard focused now. They're still playing Mikey. It's not going to end. I don't know if it's a Koth thing or a first map thing. Probably a Koth thing. We'll end up seeing if they ever go to a map 5. But Mikey was getting gunned down at the large immediately. And that's how Seoul were able to take this 1. They almost took Night Market 2, but they kind of fumbled because in a fight that Shock were able to flip, they committed a lot of ults, and they were just playing from behind the entire way after. So just one macro overcomplication would have made this a 3-1 for Shock, because Paraiso and Dorado were not particularly close, if I'm being honest. Yeah, just not particularly close. But that's just how it is. Seoul didn't look. They're not them. Kind of a disappointment after being, touted as this is a team to beat. They have the talent. It's all here. Just not them. But now Hangzhou Spark against the London Spitfire is a 3-1 for the Spark. So that means later on I will be reviewing Shock and Spark. So there's that. But yeah, Spark 3-1, they win Lijiang 2-1, they lose KR 3-2, win Route 66 4-3, and lose Coliseo 1-0, which is a 92-43 for the Spark. And of course, Shy's the guy. Oh, player of the match here is Proper. Of course it is. Shy's the guy. Oh, Rookie of the Year was also Proper, which was announced today. So no surprises there. But yeah, Proper's that guy. So anyway, Shy's the big guy. London actually come out on Li Zhang running a Bastion Rhine, which works for a fight until Shy finds a pick on Landon, and then it just crumbles. So that's not too unexpected. But yeah, that's just I give them props for trying it out. Why not? May as well. You got some percentage from it, but in the end, not really. Sparker was coming up big. Sparker actually was the reason that London were able to take this one and were able to take Kings Row. I contribute a lot of that to Sparker. But London as a whole played Kings Row extremely well on C, specifically. There were multiple fights where Teru had Kitsune Rush compared to nothing on London. Like, they just should have been able to win with Kitsune Rush, the best ult in the game. But London were able to kite back into the mini health pack at the very end of C on their defense. Survived that ult a lot of the time, and Sparker was able to come out clutch with big kills on the Shy and then other people. And Shy wasn't really coming in because they were kiting so well from the Kitsune Rush almost. They were kiting from Shy as well. And Alfie wasn't able to find the big kills that he needed because Backbone honestly had a better game than Alpha Yi. It's just that everyone else on... I think Gushwei had a better game than Hadi as well. Very close. But Gushwei had like an 8 Primal kill per 10, which is just insane considering you don't get Primal every minute. So he's getting like... Every time he pops Primal, that's a kill at least. Which is like... It's Primal Rage. Gushwei's just crazy on it. I don't know. Like, unreal. But yeah. Alfie had some clutch moments, especially Dorado, or Route 66 rather. I'll stop messing them up someday. Where he was able to come clutch. It looked like Spark weren't going to be able to complete the map, and then they eventually win it because Alfie comes super clutch at the very last fight. Huge Death Blossom. And they just kind of win. And like this map, one of my favorites of the season. This might be my favorite series of the postseason, I think. Just an absolutely great match. But yeah. Coliseum wasn't particularly close, it felt like. Spark were just ahead of the game. They're just ahead of the game. They were, every time London would pop an ult, they just kite away, wait for Shy to get a kill, and you go back in, right? That's just the name. That's just how Spark play. They play a lot more slowly compared to the other teams between the Dallas, Houston, who are up next, and all that. It ends up being a pretty good victory for the Spark. But props to London. They weren't supposed to make it here. They proved everyone wrong. They're so good. Shout out. So Shy's will play the match here, of course. Then we have Houston against Dallas, a 3-1. But honestly, Dallas just roll this. The way that Houston needed to win this, right? They come to this, I'm thinking, Houston do have a DPS advantage. Merritt has been an unreal. Pelican has been spectacular on the Reaper. But Dallas is a better team overall with the macro play, everything. And coming out map 1 to Paul, we do get a DPS diff. Merritt comes up absolutely clutch. And takes Nepal, basically. But these teams, like, both of their playstyles of how fast they're running, they just smash into each other and hope that someone wins. And for Houston, it's obviously like, you smash into them. Hopefully they're looking at Dante, they're looking at Pelican, they're doing something, and Merritt's able to clutch up. And Dallas also just smash into them, but they play a bit more safe. A bit more, not safe, a bit more calculated. And then after Nepal, it's just a wrap. It's just a wrap. Like, Houston didn't make it past point B on Kings Row or Route 66. They attacked both of these times first, like, straight up. And then Coliseum ends up being a, 100 to 35? Like, just not close. And because Edison has the best game of his career. This was insane. Edison just hard diffed Merritt. And so that whole thing about, Houston have a DPS advantage. It's just out the window. Because once they don't have that, once Merritt is not the better Sojourn in the matchup, Houston's done. Like gone, dusted. And obviously, yes, Edison has a lot more like support around him, but it was just insane. It was just insane. Fielder doing a lot more than creative on the other side, because Fielder's just the best Kiriko when it comes to the like standard positioning play, not like the crazy Teru flanks, none of that. He still finds picks, he still does all that, but when it comes to like how you would expect people to play Kiriko, how most teams play Kiriko, Fielder's the best at it. The amount of healing he does, I don't know if you want to put this on Fearless for taking so much damage and making so much space and not dying, or if you want to put this on Fielder for just healing really well, whatever it is. That's a mix of the two, obviously. He's just the best at it. Dallas are the best at it. I don't know. They're just crazy. Dante had a good game as well. Want to mention he did have some good juggles, especially Route 66. He came in clutch, but still, you're up against the best Winston maybe left. Probably 100%. The Winstons left are Kaluge, Dante. Oh, spoiler. Kaluge, Dante, and Fearless. So it's like Fearless is just the best. Dallas are just the best. Fully expect a Dallas win tomorrow. That's what I do, but it doesn't take a genius to tell you that. But yeah, Edison's the player of the match here. Monstrous performance. If he has that performance again, it's not even close tomorrow. And then finally, Hangzhou Spark against San Francisco Shock. 3-1 for the Shock. But it was close. It was really close until the very end. Spark and Shy against Shock and Proper. The battle of who is the biggest boss, basically. It starts off with a 2-1 win on Oasis from the Shock. Then it's 4-3 on Kings Row for Spark. 4-3 on Circuit Royale for Shock, which was closer than maybe you'd expect because of how much Shock prefer this map and all that. And then Colosseo was a brutal 85-51, but it felt even worse than that. So before I talk about Colosseo, let's talk about the big guns. First up, obviously Shy versus Proper is the matchup, right? And to start off, it's pretty damn close. Like, actually, Proper did diff. I'm going to say it. I'll take the Spark hat off. I don't have any of their hats to wear. So, well, I do. But, okay, the Spark's hat off. The Spark hat is off. And here's the thing. Proper had a better game than Shy. A better match. A better series. Even on Kings Row, where Spark win, Proper had better statistics. And Spark were able to win because Kaluge comes through. He actually dies in the overtime of this in the final round, the final innings, and Shock are unable to capitalize. But if he doesn't maybe misstep a little bit, he doesn't quite die. Honestly, I could have saw this going to the Shock. They felt a little bit stronger, and I don't know what you want to. Kilo was not in on Kings Row. This is fraudulent. This is so fraudulent. What? Kilo was not. Bro, this side is messed up. But yeah, Circuit Royale, the biggest one where you have Bernard was in for this. I hate that this side is wrong. How do you fuck this up? Seriously, like what? Where Hangzhou Spark play here, it's just the duel between Shy on the Sojourn and Proper on the Widow. And I was thinking about this. It's like you would expect to think that the Sojourn is what you want your carry on, because you can probably play more aggressive and find better angles. But here's the thing. The Widowmaker on the defense outvalues the Sojourn on the offense. And so I think you actually want your carry on the Widow, and Proper on the Widow kind of reaffirmed that for me. I was thinking that Sojourn was better until I thought about it a little bit more, because you have to walk into the Widowmaker. And there was times where, like, C on C, Spark are pushing. Proper is 1 HP because of a nice disruptor shot out in the, like, a nice duel out on pool, and just Proper Shy, no one else. Shy puts the disruptor shot. It's like a 5-second duel despite Proper being at 1 HP because he is just holding that corner. And Shy knows it. He's giving him so much respect. It's crazy. It was crazy. He ends up getting the kill by ADing the corner, like at different interval times, so Proper can't time it or anything, because of course they're Overwatch League players. They're that good. But like Shy wins, and Spark would go on to, but it was fucking close. And Shy on the extra rounds, he was dying first. It's like he felt like he had to do too much. There's so much pressure on Shy to perform. It is unreal. And that kind of led into Colosseo, where Spark as a team played like little, like, they were so afraid to do anything, man. They were so afraid. They were just trying desperately not to make mistakes, and they just lose because of it. Shy was playing way further back, way less aggressive than normal, and so was Teru, and they were using their ults so sparingly. They were trying to maximize every value. Oh, we don't need this ult to win. Oh, any of that. Like, there would be a time where Doucheway goes in with Primal. Teru has Kiriko ult. Finn doesn't. He used it already. You can just run it with both. But they don't. The beat comes out from the Primal. Shy ends up dying. Super Rich doesn't beat. I don't know why. Maybe there was a Winston bubble. Who knows? And then it's just a wrap. And suddenly, Finn has his Kiriko ult back, basically, for his first one. For Teru's first and Finn's second. And they just got lapped for no reason. They needed to Just make the plays. Just do what you've done to put you in this position. You've made top 4. Don't change up your play style now. It doesn't make any sense. It's just brutal. But yeah. Shock, great job focusing down Shy, especially Oasis. I didn't talk about Oasis with Mikey in. Their 5-man dive was just deadly. They were executing people on site. Shock, I don't know how to place them as a team compared to the other teams, right? Houston, Dallas, they both go extremely fast. You see their game plan. With Shy, they play a bit slower. You know, let Shy cook, let him get his kills. He's the focal point. With Shock, Proper's that guy. He's their focal point still, but they play in a way that is like so adaptive to whatever's happening in front of them. It's very hard for me to pin down what they're doing. They're not going insanely quick. They're not giving up space for free. They're not the Soul Dynasty, but they are not at the same pacing that Houston or Dallas have, and they're not at the same slowness of Spark. They're very interesting. Just very well coached, I think, and they have a good handle on what's going on. And Kaluj has really stepped up as a really solid monkey. He was outvaluing Gushue with some primals consistently. Like there were times where Gushue goes in with his primal, he doesn't find anything. Kaluj goes in with the primal, he ends up getting a kill. Like he was making a difference maker. And Spark were very much an individual skill team, right? And then once Shock's able to match it, streets are done. So very disappointed in Spark on Coliseum, but as the playoff as a whole, they're the bottom seeded team and they finished 4th. Despite a really shitty back half of the season, they pulled it together and they finished probably around what they should. Like looking at the strength of the roster. So we'll see what they do going into next season. We'll see what their money bags can buy. I have big hopes, big dreams, but that's it for them. So tomorrow, quick little thing before I head out. Lower bracket final, Houston versus Shock at 8 p.m. Eastern. Houston Shock played previously. It was a 3-2 for Houston. I think Shock have gotten better since then compared to Houston. Here's the thing. Houston peaked in this London game where they were unreal. They disappointed me yesterday. I think Shock's gotten better from this matchup. I want to go Shock, probably, I don't know what, probably 3-2. They did go to map 5. Was Mikey in on this map 5? Did I forget this? I don't remember what happened here. I don't remember. My bad. But I don't know. I think that Shock probably make it. I feel like Proper's just on a tear. He's gotten better and better as his playoffs has gone on. And I think Proper's him. So I'm gonna go with a Shock 3-2, 3-1. 3-1 Shock, I think. And then up against Dallas, I think it's gonna be a 4-1. I think Dallas looked too damn good, like all around, unless Proper literally is so good he can overcome the sheer like brain power from Dallas. It's Dallas all day. I'll give Shock a Circuit Royale is what I'm giving him. But other than that, Dallas all day. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your Preds down below. Let me know your thoughts on these matches. Your thoughts on any of the teams on Seoul or London or Spark that are gone now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you really like it. Have yourself a damn good one.